2026?
So for Aston Villa, it will be very difficult to keep Morgan Rogers. They extended his contract. Well, he signed a new deal a few months ago, but at the same time, Aston Villa understand that there is going to be plenty of clubs interested in Morgan Rogers. As we said, the wingers market is very aggressive, very active over the recent weeks, and Morgan Rogers is going to be part of that. So I expect several clubs to be at the table for Morgan Rogers. For sure, Arsenal, because they are one of the clubs interested in Morgan Rogers, and from what I understand, they already had some direct contacts with the agents of Morgan Rogers. So, for sure, for Arsenal, he's a player on the list. But Arsenal are not alone in this race for Morgan Rogers, and also I think Arsenal have to decide who is their favorite target among many wingers they are considering during this summer transfer window. So, Morgan Rogers is an option for sure. It's going to be expensive because, again, he signed a new deal at Villa. Villa are going to play Champions League football. Villa won the Europa League. So Villa are very happy with their project at the moment.
I think if you look at Bournemouth's style of play over the course of the 2 seasons, you go back to his teams at Rayo Vallecano as well. It was a team of actions. It's a very sort of Spanish way of describing it, but just actions all over the pitch. You put more crosses in. He even says, you put 3 crosses in, 1 is bound to hit the target. You put in enough challenges. You commit enough fouls. You take enough yellow cards. You hit enough shots. You just go, 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 go. It is a chaos-based style of play, which is sort of very interesting, I think, to bring to players at a higher level, because higher level players are more capable of controlling a game. Do you want to introduce the element of chaos? Well, I think Liverpool, it is sort of fascinating. Here we see the most possessions won in the attacking third. Bournemouth are 4th behind Brighton, Arsenal, Manchester City as well. I think what you want to introduce as Liverpool is what the fans loved about the Jurgen Klopp era. And it is kind of fascinating that there are a few clubs in world football that are associated with a style, not just success, but a style. Liverpool, I never really thought to be one of them, but Klopp had such an imprint on the club that now they want to get back to a Klopp style of play. I'm not certain that there's a complete similarity to Iraola and Klopp, but there are some principles, and most importantly, it's all about the action and the intensity and getting that Anfield crowd going.
Yeah, Lahoud, what can fans expect from this Liverpool side if Antonio Iraola were to go there? It looks like he's set.
And Woody, you touched on something that's going to be massive. The reason, in my opinion, that Arne Slot got the sack is he lost favour and really lost Liverpool fans, full stop. You can say he lost Mohamed Salah, which that happened months before, but it was what he lost in terms of the buy-in with Liverpool fans as a whole that you now go and get Iraola. And so we're going to go and watch how Iraola and Bournemouth played against Manchester City. So this is their average starting positions. Are you kidding me? This is their fullback, Adrien Truffert, who's actually one of the most underrated fullbacks in the Premier League. You build in a 3-2, and the biggest adaptation that he made in the second half of the season, and it's why Bournemouth won 17 matches unbeaten to finish the season, is you get the likes of Scott and Tyler Adams being your insurance policy, and then it frees up your fullback to go up in the high line. And Jen, I know that you know this as someone who's marshaled back lines and also marshaled midfielders. How significant is this to see a fullback this high, and then just the domino effect is your wingers then can play in the half spaces as you see at Tavernier?
Yeah, I mean, it's high risk, but high reward. And I think we saw the stats earlier of winning. When you win the ball that high up at the pitch, and you also have your attackers, fullbacks higher up, just more likely to give that attacking edge. But I think that the communication has to be so key, like you're saying, from the centre-backs when you do release your fullback. And you have to be so sure that those midfielders recover if the ball does break down, which I think that's why they were so successful this last season. And obviously well coached and well managed, because that is drilled from the training ground, where the press is, who's the trigger. But 100% for those to be your starting positions, because that's always the biggest key for me in a press. Where do you start? If you don't get your starting position right, everything else breaks down. That chain reaction can break. So that to be that high from the off, just it's the perfect graphic actually to showcase why they're